Okay, I guess it's time to start. Hello, everybody. My name is Gella, and I'm going to be starting off a series of classes this week with the Francisco Gella Dance Works faculty. I'm really excited to do this first one this evening. So I know a lot of you have been feeling this new surreal reality that we're in, and a bit of disbelief, and I feel like it's like a movie playing out in real life. And I know that everybody's been pretty fearsome of the coronavirus, and we're pretty much on lockdown. And I totally completely understand that it's necessary. But for someone like me who loves to travel and do so much work with what I love to do, it's been interesting having to be at home and sitting with myself and figuring out like where I'm at in terms of my life. Dance is my life. I teach a lot, but sometimes when I'm going from one project to another, it doesn't give me an opportunity to necessarily take a deep breath and appreciate everything. So for the last couple of weeks, it's been incredible. I was sick last week. I did have the flu, but it wasn't corona. I went to the emergency room to make sure that all that was good. So I'm back to normal now and fully recovered. And for the last 2 days, actually, I've just been in my tiny little studio and giving myself class, and I have fallen in love even more with the ballet technique. And it's not the only thing that I teach, but that for me is something about the traditional idiom really, really makes you look at things that you don't want to look at. And sometimes, when you take a normal class, we're all about picking the combinations, but how effective is it? And I think that in times like these where we're in lockdown, we can't go take class, it gives you an opportunity to go into your private space where nobody's watching, and you don't have to feel self-conscious to try to prove anything. You just focus on what is real for you in terms of your instrument. So it's been very eye-opening for myself. I am turning 47 years old in a couple of months, so this has been challenging. So for the last 3 days, I've actually just given myself class, but then class for me is not just class, it's research. So the only way for me to be able to be more effective in increasing the efficacy of transmitting information to my students or to dancers that I work with in choreograph is really doing the movement on myself. And I haven't really stopped completely, so I try to keep myself in shape, but I think I'm not doing too bad at 47. So, plie. I know that it's one of those steps that I feel like we take for granted. We're always trying to just do in the beginning of class, we're doing pliés, yes, and so forth. And hey, Jeffrey, is there any way that we could lift a couple of windows so we can get more light in here?
Yes.
Thank you. So it's been challenging because I thought about this more. We do pliés in the beginning of class, but how often do we really focus on how effective it is and whether we're doing it right or not? It is the first step in the classical idiom. It's the first thing that we do to warm up before we even do any tendus. And so I feel like at times, we take it for granted, because we're trying to move on to the next more difficult thing. So what I'm going to do is introduce some exercises that some of you have done before in a specific order to help you strengthen not only your legs for pliés, but to also make you be more aware of the lighting is getting darker. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Oh, hello. I'm wondering. That's it. Okay, perfect. I think you need to turn off these lights here, the buffalo lights a bit. Thank you. All right, so pliés. Anyway, so can you see me better now? And so my legs right now are killing me. I have been so sore just been doing these plié exercises that I'm going to share with you, and the other thing I've been doing is tendus. So please forgive me for my lack of. I am getting old, okay, yes, and I never had the best sleep. I'm going to show you some things to work on tendus as well. So I think refocusing on pliés is really important because it's the first step. Again, you also is the first thing that we do, which means that it's the first step that activates your rotation before you start class. And by doing these things slowly and repetitively, it allows you to connect with your core and also allows you to connect with your legs and also helps you structure, the correct way of turning out. So here's the deal. You're by yourself, right? You're probably in a garage or you're in your bedroom. We're gonna do this together, and I'm gonna put some music on here. And once I stop doing this, you can actually put this on any kind of music you want. You know, Ariana Grande, whatever, rap music. But it has to be done slowly and consciously. So before you do these exercises, I would recommend you doing some lower abs, whatever that is. I'll show you in a different class coming up here. I think either on Saturday that I'll show you like a short warm-up you could actually use, and we'll explain that later. But please, so we're gonna start with the first position. I literally am so sore, and I can feel my legs changing as I'm doing like maybe like about 10 minutes with the pliés. Not even doing a first time, do after 10 minutes of bar, but really re-examining this basic tenet that basically is needed for everything that we do, whether it's prepping for and transitioning for a jump or doing a pirouette. So I feel like sometimes we negate the importance, we don't have a chance to analyze it because we're trying to work on a more difficult skill, whether it's a pirouette, double twirl, ascot turn. I really feel that this is gonna help. So I'm just gonna adjust the screen just a tiny bit more. Okay, all right, so in the first position, now, again, you're by yourself at home, right? So there's really nothing to prove, so be honest with yourself where your turn is at. If you're swaying back like this and you're turning out and forcing your legs, that doesn't really sound conducive. So what I've been trying to do for myself is try to make sure that my tailbone is really down and I'm in a comfortable first position, okay? Now, everybody says to not to grip, but what I like to do is feel my belly button pressing into my spine and pulling all these legs up so that everything's activated. So right now, this is just gonna relax. I like to pull them up so I can feel my inner thighs and the back of my legs connecting to my pelvis. So we're gonna take an 8-count grand plie. Yes, 8 counts. And let me tell you, I die. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 4 counts of demi plie here. I have to mark it because I'm so sore. 4 counts to grand, and the back of demi, and then 4 counts to straight. After you do it once, you do it in 2-count increments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and do it twice through. You do twice through in 1 count. Okay. As you do this, you make sure that you're standing on the balls of your feet here, and that you're standing on, you're really not compensating for anything like that. I'm gonna put some music on. We're gonna do it together. So get up on your chair, get up by your chair, or on the kitchen counter, or whatever, and let's feel this. Now, at some point, I'm probably gonna look like an idiot because I'm gonna need help getting up like an old person at the bar because it does hurt me, and I'm still recovering from doing all this. I'm gonna do this. Okay, so I'm gonna put some music on and we'll start. So get ready for position, press your belly button to your spine. And here we go. And if anybody's interested, this music is by actually I'm not sure she's still playing for the company, but she's an American Ballet Theater. She does the accompaniment for them. Her name is Gladys Celeste. So if you want to get her CD on iTunes, it's quite excellent. So here we go. All right. 4 counts, don't rush. Feel your thighs tightening. 1, 2, very slow. It's painful. Okay, push your knees out to the plie. Woo! 6. Oh my gosh. And keep pushing your knees out. 1. Woo! Slowly straighten. I'm watching you there. 6. Squeeze. And same thing in 2 counts. This is 1, 2. Not here. 1. Push your knees out as you walk here. Drop the heels down. Squeeze. Now 1 count. I don't know if you're feeling it. I am. 1. And 1. Push your knees out. And nose up top. Again. And 5. Then you time it a second. And say things like position. Okay, hold on. Keep going with release. 1. Sorry. 2. So again. I don't know about you, but I am dying. We can still up. Ooh. 2 counts now. And oh my Knees out. Why am I switching myself? One, two. Okay. Oh my gosh, I don't know about you, but literally, like when I do this, and even more so, I can feel my inner thighs and feel the back of my legs. So at first, I feel it in my quads, but then as I do it, and I push the knees out, and just for 1 second, I'm holding. I lose my breath here. It's so deep and so slow that it actually connects you. Like I'm feeling it. Literally after this exercise, I'm already sweating and I am having to catch my breath. Okay, maybe it's just I'm holding out of shape. Okay, so you do that in first and in second position, and I'm not going to show you because I'm going to get it. Otherwise, I'll be able to walk. But you can repeat in the fourth, and you can also repeat in fifth position. Yes, being conscious about the crossing the upper and thighs, so you're really clear with that. Same thing on the right and left. For position, if you have any problems, I would suggest not doing the grand plie. So you would just have to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you stay there. Yes. Okay. Okay. So that focuses on what we call anaerobic muscles, which is your slow twitch muscles, which allows you to have a sense of power and it's propulsion and power. Okay, so it's basically strengthening your legs. To be able to jump higher, be able to use your plie. Now, when I first started, my plie was only up to here. Now, after doing that exercise, I've increased my plie even further because of the repetition. This is why it's simple. And you do it in the counts. Okay. I can't talk, guys. I'm so tired already. Now, this next one. Again, so you do that in first, second, fourth, and fifth. This next one is I call it the world famous one because actually it's one of the first sequences that I ever came up with when I had my school in Los Angeles, California. And it involves pulses. And what it does is that you have to do a solo plie for 4 counts. And a lot of you know this. And then you pulse for 4, you hold the position for 4, and then you straighten up. You can do this in first, second, fourth, or fifth. In second position is ideal to do in grand plie. In first, I sometimes will do it in a grand plie position, but then I will recommend doing it from first if you're a beginner or if you feel like you have any problems or your upper and thighs are not strong enough at this point. Be honest with yourself. So I'm going to show you this plie section. Right? Again, focusing on plie, guys. Okay. Oh. So you're going to be in second position. Yeah. You're going to take 4 counts to go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm not going to go all the way down. You guys are. Your pelvis has to be level with the knees. You're going to pulse here 5, pushing these up. 6, 7, 8. You can stay there for 4, 1, 2. Keep pushing these up. Some again. 3, 4. Go to the bars 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. We're going to try to do it 4 sets in second. 2 sets in second, 2 sets in first, and then 2 sets in fifth and fifth. Okay. Because otherwise, I'm going to end up having a heart attack. So did you get that? Again, exercise in first. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you're going to go here, you can go 1, 2. You can go 3, 4. You're going to pulse 5, 6, 7, 8. You stay there for 4. Another 5. Go to 6. And I can barely talk because that just killed me. So I'm going to do the demi plie versions in first and fifth, and the grand plie version in second. See if you can do it in all grand plie. Now, again, if you're by yourself, there's nothing to prove. So play around, adjust it. Nobody's watching you. You're on your own. So be more, be very self-introspective in the way you approach this. And you're going to feel it more in the muscles that at first in the beginning strong, but then as you progress, it switches over and makes you feel your thighs. And that's when you start feeling weak and start breathing hard because you're actually training the muscles that are weaker in your legs. Okay. All right. So in first position. Okay, let's try this. And hopefully I won't collapse. Okay, here we go. So the tempo is actually pretty moderate. 1, again, focusing on that. 3, and pulse. Stay. 1, balance. 5 bars. 6. Again, first. Now the rock, I guess. 2. And pulse. Oh my gosh. Again, set the laugh. Stay there so we can. Oh my goodness. And same thing in fifth here. Okay, I'm gonna die here. Two. We give the oscar train here. The one up in fifth, the other one first, just stay there balance. Keep it in. Stay. I'm dying, oh my god. Oh, I don't know about you all, but I am sweating. I can just keep doing the wrong thing, but I'm not doing it because I love this. Oh my god. Okay, so that's the second set of pliés that we did. This third one has a 4C arch element to it that actually makes you feel your thighs. So again, I didn't just do one set of pliés. I do, tomorrow, if you can, do the regular pliés and see how your legs feel. Right now my legs feel work, they feel connected to my core, and it has to be slow for this one, okay? This one involves a 4C arch, and I'm only going to do it in first and second because if I do it in fifth and fifth and push myself, I would literally probably faint, okay? But hopefully you're having fun and you're appreciating a little bit more and you're feeling the muscles. So you're essentially actually getting in touch with the muscles that you need for the later steps, your tongs and monotones. And right now we're going to do a third set, and then the last one is for our fast twitch muscles, which is our speed, which emphasizes more of a, it's a different kind of a burn. I don't know how to explain it, but when you do it with me, you'll see what I mean. So this one, you take 4 counts to the plié. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 arch 5, and 6, 7, and 8. This is 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. You do 1 plié. 5, 6, releve up on 7, yep, and lower the heels on 8. Okay? Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 arch 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeping that demi pliés as to your full capacity as possible. You're going on plié 5, then plié 6 here, and releve 7, and lower 8. Okay, just doing it all in sequence is not easy. I don't know how you guys do my practice, but I'm trying to motivate all of you and doing it myself. I can't even finish my own class, honestly. I designed all this, but it's kicking my butt and getting me in shape. So how's that? Okay, so let's try that in first and second position. So we're going to do 1 set first, 1 second, 1 second, first and second. This could be done in fourth and fifth as well. So anything that I do, just assume that you could do it in the fourth and fifth positions. It's just I can't show it to you again because, you know, the joke of old age. So, should we try this? Okay. Now, again, nobody's watching. Right? You're probably by yourself. So, you know, if you need to shake your legs like I do it. I mean, you're giving yourself class, you're examining the importance of this play and making you feel you're trying to access things. I'm really feeling my legs pulsing all the way through. They don't feel gripped, they feel very pulled up and just connected, my inner thighs and my core and my back. Like I feel like I'm working all the right muscles. And again, the more you repeat it and the less fancy it is, and you focus on the nitty-gritty, you really feel where you're supposed to be feeling in terms of the correct foundational aspect of how you're feeling and sensing these movements in your body. So let's try this, and then we'll do one more thing, and then we'll go into tendus, okay? Here we go. All right. Do it again. 6. I'm going to take 4 counts to the plié here. 1, 2. Now shaking your feet here for stretch. 5, 6, way up. 7, and release 8. Second. Okay. Again, try to see if you can be in the correct alignment here. Support your abs. I am dying. Time to get back to position. 1, 2, stretch. Okay, I'm going to go into parallel. You can see you can pull it if you want, yes? Because I'm dying. Let's see over here. Again, 1. So you should be doing your full position now. I'm doing parallel because I am literally dying. How many rounds going to be 8? You should be on the other side before. One more. Oh my goodness. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling that, okay? So now that we did all this soldier stuff, there's actually more versions. I just, like, I can't do all. I wish I had an assistant with me, but they're on home lockdown right now here, so I can let go. So we'll do one more. Pretty fun and simple. It's really funny. It's a different kind of burn. So you're going to do these things, what I call pulses, which is what we did earlier in a deeper position for second and first. But we're going to do it fast. So for instance, we're going to go here. You're going to kind of bounce and develop a pliable sensibility for your plié. So you're going to do 32 repetitions. You're going to go 1, 2, 3. So you don't really swing your legs. It's kind of like more like you're pulsing through to develop that pliable sensibility. So you do 32 in first, second, fourth, and fifth. Here, 32, not 8, not 32. It goes by pretty fast. So you do the other side right away. Okay? Yes. And if you're crazy, you do a second set. Okay? And all this stuff can be applied in another way also, but again, we only have a certain amount of time, and I can only do so much because I am old. I want to get the time to use. So these are called pulses. So be careful that when you do this, you don't allow yourself to bounce or to lock your knees. It's really about like bouncing up and down and feeling the fast muscles that are in your thighs and in the back of your legs. Okay. So these are fast pulses. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to catch my breath here. So I don't have an assistant. Let's try this. Here you go. 6. This is easier. 1, 2. 2. 3. Again, it's simple. Repeat it. When your feet are burning. Okay, oh my goodness, it's like, just give me 1 second, okay? Oh gosh, my little legs really feel like Jello. And we're going to Tanya to explain to you why this is crucial here. Just 1 second, okay? Yes. See, I have all these like different. This is actually all these people here, like in these pictures. If you're wondering, this is the Think Different campaign from 1996 for Apple, and these are the pioneers of like musicians. Miles Davis, Albert Einstein, Jane Goodall, Pablo Picasso, Jim Henson, Earhart, Gandhi. There's a picture over here that you can't see, but I can't have a studio without a picture of Martha Graham. Think Different, right? Famous contraction extension right there. Anyway, okay, let's go to the second side before I forget. Here we go. All right, come on, let's do it. Oh my goodness. I can see my legs shaking in the mirror. Fourth. Again, look, I'm a human being. Stop if you have to. I'm dying. Okay. I will be right back. I need to blow my nose really quickly because I'm sweating. I'm pretty cool. Give me a second, okay? Hey, Jeff. Yeah. Can you grab some water? Yeah. So I'm back. Without the talking, if you do that Plié sequence like over and over again, and you just like again, like sometimes you're in a conference of your own room and you don't really have maybe a studio space like this. So even with this space, which is pretty tiny, like try to make use of it. I can't travel abroad like obviously, so I have to go back to revisiting the basic foundation. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling my legs, and you can see they look very different than when they first started. They're a lot more, I don't know, cut, I guess. Not too bad. I cut up in rotation when I was younger, but you can see that everything's activating correctly. So we're going to move into Tendu's. And, I was doing this before I became a dancer, and, we didn't really care about our feet. Just like point them. I had like horrible toe points, so I had to work on like really, really making my foot, even if I didn't have the best feet, making it work for a particular line. And I will tell you right now that I have never had a bad review of my feet, or like nobody's ever told me like, oh, it's horrible. I just learned how to work through them and shape them clearly because I had to be conscious of it because I wasn't blessed with the ideal foot structure for ballet. So I'm going to show you some exercises to actually, again, as you're feeling these pliés, it's important to feel the length of the legs here, making sure you're pushing through. And again, it's slow. You can do it fast, but I feel like sometimes when we go too fast, we negate details. So it's better to do it. And I do everything from first position if I condition. So again, this is just a focus on plie and tendus. And if it was a regular class, obviously we would do a bar from fifth and Ranajan and all that. But for right now, since we're focusing on these two steps and we're visiting them, I want you to be conscious that you're feeling your legs from all those pliés. I want you to feel the same muscles as you do these tendus. Before we start, I'm going to drink of water. I mean, I'm trying to be as casual as I can here, but I am literally dying. And mind you, I've been doing this for the last 3 days. I haven't recovered. So, still sore. Okay, reverse position. Tendus. Be very, very slow and pragmatic about the reduce. I think sometimes you just like stick your foot out. I would suggest that basically, like, I think the most ideal way of doing this, I'm going to angle to here, is to really, really be conscious about keeping your legs straight and then brushing from the top of the hip here. And for you, like most of you probably know, like obviously know what tongue is. But instead of just kind of sticking your leg out there, re-examine what your leg structure looks like and how you feel like. Are your knees bending when you go to the tongue area? Are you hiking your hip up? So really, really important to focus on the details. So try to keep the hips as quiet as possible so that when you are deliberately doing your tongue, the only thing that you move is your leg. You're not trying to hike. You're trying to fix it. Now, if I was facing the mirror, I could tell more about it. I'm facing you guys, so it's hard for me, but I've been working on this. And you should be feeling your legs, your leg muscles that we've been doing in the last, 25 minutes for pliés. So just think of this. So again, you know this, but it's re-examining and giving things full value. You go half to here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna go there 5, 6, and put up the leg 7, 8. 2 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. You put your foot here. 5, 6, and close 7, 8. Now the entire time I'm feeling that. So this is a 4-count increment. The reason why I'm doing this slow is that I want you to feel like I feel my arches, I feel the muscles of my feet, I feel my inner thighs, I feel every single muscle necessary for me to be able to. And when I go fast, I try to replicate that sense of precision while I'm doing it slow. So we're going to focus on doing things slow and then maybe increase the speed. But again, repetition is everything. The more complicated the combination, you will get warm, obviously, if you know what you're doing. But sometimes I feel like, we're trying to remember the details, and it's important to be able to make sure that you're clear with how you're rushing the floor, how you're using the resistance of the floor to help you shape your tendus, okay? So this actually was what I used to do when I was first beginning. I was so obsessed with trying to get my mind, because my trainer was like this, Air Force gymnast. So like I would be in the kitchen just doing this all the time, and it really helped me accelerate my understanding of the technique, and I got stronger, faster, and quicker because of all these, the way a gymnast trains for a more difficult skill. You do round-off timers before you do a mechanical double tap. You do like timers on the ball over and over. You don't actually get that particular skill until a few weeks later after you've done your timer. So same thing here. I would consider this like working on a timer, working on the details of your tendu. And again, tendus are important. They show up in every single step, almost in center. You glissade, when you chasse, when you tell me about a beret, when you pique, there's a tendu or a dégagé before that. So these two, the reason why I wanted to focus on this as well is because these things show up in every single possible step after this, yes? So like for instance, in glissade, you go through your tendu before you know what I mean? So if we can approach it using and referencing the basic foundational steps to a more difficult step, it'll be more detailed in your execution. So I truly believe this, and you're also going to be working the crack muscles. So going back to move forward is something that I truly believe in, because then, as you get older, you understand things differently. And if you go back to the same step, you have a different understanding of it. So it's a never-ending process. I'm not training for the stage anymore, but I'm still feeling in my body, and I'm fascinated how the way I look at tendu now is completely different from the way I looked at 10 years ago, or even the way I teach it. So again, very simple, keeping your body completely pulled up. And then for this to really feel the correct rotation, you feel the muscles. You go 1 to here, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. And then go 1, 2, keep your legs straight. 1, feeling that. And shaping 5, 6. And you can feel as I do it, I'm pushing to really lengthen that line. I'm not gripping anything, I'm pulling it up and lengthening, yes? Let's do this. Okay. I'm gonna put a different piece of music on. Okay. This one is with Kellogg. Is his name. You can get his stuff on iTunes as well. Sings here. I'm gonna face the bar. You do it with one hand here. This is I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. It feels different with all the bass. Rotation. Okay, so we're gonna do it again without talking and again feeling it, but on a one count. Yes, we're gonna do one all the way on co-op. And again, you can do this I'm doing it with both arms of the bar because again I've been doing this for the last 2 days and like every single time I do it, I go deeper and my chart increases. Like it's my fourth day doing it now, and I can feel reconnecting. And so, just when you think, oh, I'm gonna get in shape instead of hurting more, no, your body's gonna go deeper and it's like always going to hurt. That's the one thing about designing these exercises, the secrets of it. It really helps you increase it in a time when you can't take class. Just work on a particular facet and really be detailed a bit with your approach and see if you can apply those things that you learn about yourself in this process into a regular normal class. Okay, so okay. All right, one count. Here we go. One count. Feel your muscles. Side. feeling it. And for those of you that are taking, like, are you dying as I am? I don't know about you, but I'm like feeling my legs. Okay, so I'm gonna do a couple more exercises. I have a million of these, but I feel like I'm kind of like trying to get all the different muscles again for first position. Again, this is not like a normal class, but what I did today was I did my workout. I have some weights here and some mats, and did all this stuff. Then I did this, and then I took my class. So it was about a 2-hour process, and it felt every single time I would do this, and I would take class after, I felt more connected to my turnout, and my runner jumps and my fondues got better. So I think that, take the sequence of things and see if you could do it without stopping. I haven't been able to do it honestly because it's killing me, but I'm also feeling a lot more place. So it's supplementary to your class, and if you don't have I'm not able to go obviously because we're in lockdown here, and take class, I would just suggest doing this and giving yourself a ballet bar and see how things feel different. Already I can feel my legs getting back in shape and feeling the rotation more. I love this one here because it accesses the play that we did earlier, and I'm still having to feel the flowing of the tendu. I love it. So you're gonna take 2 counts. We're gonna go 1, 2, you're gonna go brush, 3, 4, keep the legs right here, 5, 6, full plie. Encore to the other side, and then we'll do it in 1 count, and really making sure that you're allowing yourself to really feel the legs and feet, okay? So here we go. Different piece of music here. Do everything else counts. Is this? You feel that plie muscle right here. Again, detail, not too complicated here. Look at the execution. Give you more, let's set to even more. It's funny. Like, I'm laughing. I mean, if you really think about it, there isn't really anything particularly difficult about the step and sequences. But let me tell you right now, I am feeling it so much. I'm like, how could something be so simple, be so difficult, and so painful? But this is why we go back to the basic steps, because I truly believe this. And if I'm feeling it in my body, I know you're feeling it. And I'm feeling the increase in my rotation and feeling my legs go deeper and turn out. It will always feel like there's something to work on. But it's been incredibly crazy. Okay, so the next one, so you can do this in one count, and you can repeat it however many times you want. This last one here is really I love the step. This is like so you're gonna flex your foot and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep the flex for 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 counts up and 2 counts down. Now, I want you to think about keeping your knees straight and really coming to the top of the hips. So you would actually have to lift your foot there, so you're feeling your. It's also therapeutic because it actually helps you with lengthening your case tendon as you lengthen your tongue out. So this is the last thing. I am dying right now, so this is the last thing we're doing. So we pretty much covered a lot of different steps here, and still feeling the pliés, and I'm like having a little bit of a headache because I'm like going so deep in my thought process. I think I just need to drink some water. So hold on a second. Gosh. It's crazy. Oh my goodness. Good. Gatorade or water, whatever. Let's do this, and then I'll take some questions, okay? And Jeff, I'm going to need your help with the questions that you know. All right, here we go. One last thing. Like straight. I love this one. I think this is my first one. Okay, I've had it. Oh my goodness. I don't know how you guys felt, but I hope that so again, like see the legs are different from when I first started. They're a lot more rotated and pulled up. Okay. So I'm only saying it because I'm experiencing it. And again, the more you're detailed and slow the way you're pushing, the more you can change your body. I work with a very difficult body because I was more athletic and to lengthen it for dance. Really, like, going slow helps and being detailed helps and going back to the steps helps. And hopefully that after taking this class, you'll have a new appreciation of your pliés. You'll be able to feel more grounded before you take it from a pirouette or when you take it to Lego or when you do your gamma or your tilt, you go through a tendu and lift it up and go back to the tendu. So replicating the same structure in these basic steps and applying it to every single more difficult step, it'll help you change the way you look at technique. And it'll make you look at it with more detail and you work deeper into it. And sometimes it's hard to feel that because, as a professional dancer, I remember getting to a certain point and then feeling defeated again after pushing my body and working out from a more turned out place. It's a never-ending process. You never really get there. The only thing that I can say the biggest reward is that when you start dancing other people's work, and then your technique is strong, there is a freedom in the way you move because you're so much more stronger and so much more agile. That's what I felt when I was peaking my dancing. Like, yes, I did work hard in class and was always revisiting things to make it more specific. But then as I danced, and only as my dancing became stronger and clearer, there was just a sense of ease and freedom because the body was so incredibly strong. And I've been injured, but I've never gotten surgery. So, and whenever I would get injured or felt incapacitated, I always find ways, for instance, like we're in lockdown. So find ways to revisit steps. If I were an ankle sprain, I would do bar before. I mean, I was just crazy. I guess there's always a solution for something, and you should never be bored. You should always constantly be fascinating, and just think of like really being in touch and fine tuning. So I'm going to take some questions from you guys and see if I can answer any of them. I hope you enjoyed class. Make sure you stretch and drink lots of water because I can guarantee you right now that you're going to be sort of mom, okay? I don't know how many will get out of bed because I've already I did an entire thing today for 2 hours for the last few days. And you better believe it, tomorrow I'm going to, I believe that if you're sore, if your muscles are sore, and you're still able to walk even painfully, instead of resting, what I do is I just finish the 5-day sequence and just push through, and then my body feels strong the next day, and it's not sore the following day. But you have to push through the pain to get stronger. So I'm going to take a couple of questions. Anybody?
Do you recommend doing these exercises every day?
Well, I mean, look, listen. Yes, there's nothing else to do. You know what I mean? Like I can't go and take class. I can go to the park, but I can't touch any surfaces. I have no idea. So I've been doing it. It's my 4th day doing it. Actually, my 3rd day doing it now, or 4th day, I don't remember. But this is the 2nd time today they've been doing it, and I feel very conditioned and strong right now. Like if I were to go and take a regular ballet class, everything would feel very turned out. So yes, like if you have a time to do it, like I'll be obsessive about it. It's your instrument. The more you work on it safely, the more you define each step with more specificity, the more detailed your movement and your body is going to be when you dance choreography. Okay, so I would say yes. Or do it 3 times a week. Like I've just been sort of bored. Like I don't have to go to work and unless I'm doing like answering an article or writing ideas down and revisiting some things. Like I've been using this space to kind of improv and do some movement for myself, or just journaling, making things so that I call it research. I'm always looking for something new to teach, so I can be more effective in the way I deliver all this information to you guys. So yes, every day.
They're asking if there's a point class, and Julie is doing a point class and how you do point at home.
Okay, so Julie Shimon-Friedrich is going to be, she's an amazing, world famous dancer. I love her. She's going to be doing a point class and showing me some exercises you can do at home. So when is that going to be? That's going to be when?
That's going to be Thursday.
Thursday. It's going to be on Thursday. So look for that. So again, I have a bunch of other things I can show you. I have a studio here with mats and actually light weights. I did a conditioning things that I can go to the gym. I'll do something that's more conducive to my instrument, so I can get stronger. So instead of me laying around and watching movies, which I have been doing, I was watching Devil Wears Prada, I'm watching Confessions of a Shopaholic. I watched I watched Sabrina. I'm kind of like a chick flick kind of thing. That's so inappropriate, but like a romantic movie kind of comedy kind of thing. So I did that after I did my class today, and I completely fell out and fell asleep, and then I had to take a shower and then warm up and grab something to eat before I did this because I knew I was going to get killed again doing this in front of you guys.
We have a question. We're going to have classes every day this week through Saturday.
Yes.
Tomorrow will be Usha Marie Sorzano. Wednesday is Julie. Thursday is Julie. Friday is Julie. And Francisco is on Saturday.
And then I'll tell you more about my class. We'll advertise it about. The first, actually, it's a sequence of things that you can do before you warm up for the stage or competition, or even just for class to get you primed. And then I'll talk a little bit about how to journal.
How many hours of ballet a day is recommended for somebody who wants to be a professional?
Well, I mean, look, listen, when I started, I knew that I had a lot of professional to do. So, I mean, an hour and a half to 2 hours of class a day is ideal for an average person. But if you really want to get good, I mean, if you just want to make it supplementary, an hour and a half every day, or even 3 times a week. And also, if you really want to get into it, then you have to go and take multiple classes twice a day. If you want, one in the morning, one in the evening, or just take 2 classes in a row. I do believe that the time spent in the studio is important, and taking as many classes as you can is great. However, it's not just enough to just go in and take a class. Just because you come up with upper class doesn't mean you've done the work. So it's stuff like this right here, a supplementary that allows you to really refocus on making sure you're doing it correctly. So it's not the amount of time or how many times a week. Look, like before this, when I was traveling, I was getting myself bar in the hotel room and taking class like once a week. And it was more than enough for me to be able to just sort of get my body in teaching shape. But as a professional answer, if you really want to do it, again, it's not the amount of time, it's how you spend your time in that class. You could be taking, 2 classes a week for an hour and a half of ballet and be in great shape, because every single time you go into the studio, you're working with such detail that, so basically it's an issue of quality and detail over quantity. It's an issue of correct execution over just kind of like going through the movements. It's an issue of doing things correctly as opposed to getting your brain sort of like exercised with a complicated combination. And there's a place for that because it makes your body think differently and it's useful. But for me, I'm all about making sure the instrument is fine-tuned to be able to, for a student dancer to be able to stronger into other disciplines.
How long do you recommend doing these exercises?
You mean like how long? Like for how long?
I think like on a particular day. How long?
Well, I mean, we're about an hour now. I did a lot of explaining, but all this could be done in a 15-minute span. And then, realistically, I should actually 25 minutes to do it because I have to stop in between because I didn't really ring down. But then after that, I give myself a ballet bar and a little bit of center. I can't jump on this floor because there's not enough room, but I'll do these socks. So I would say, if without talking and you just do it through, I would tell you right now that if you do all the 8 exercises in a row, you will not be able to get through them in one straight shot. I can guarantee it. I've been trying for the last 5 years. I cannot do it because every single time I get stronger, I'm waiting for one more turn out place, and then when I do the entire sequence again, it just kills me. So what I love about this is that it's the same exercise, but it's an ongoing process, and it always feels different every time you do it because as you improve, you go deeper. And so repetition is, again, key. It makes you, it forces you to look at what works and what's beautiful in your body and what the flaws are.
Do you have tips for doing tendus to the back without lifting your hips?
Yeah, it's a hard one. I mean, basically, you have to be, go, if you have a mirror, okay? I mean, basically, we're told not to tip our pelvis until you hit that vijay. Like, if you are twisting, then you're trying to define your rotation by twisting. Be okay with returning back. If this is all you have right now, and you can only rotate so much, by keeping the hip, then work in that place. But at least you're working on the place. You're looking for you're coming to the hip. If you try to twist because you're trying to increase your rotation in your IRS line, it's not coming to the hip anymore. You're actually injuring rotating your same leg. So it's better to keep everything squared and work with the rotation that you have. And then as you get stronger there, then you can start, okay, I'm going to start rotating a bit more. And I can feel my legs straighten. And then from there, keep my hips squared. This hip was injured when I did gymnastics. So this hip is tighter. This hip is much looser. So it's been an ongoing process of just literally releasing this for the last 5 years and changing the way I do things because of the fact that I was cheating and twisting because of the fact that I'm so tight. But as I first started sort of reanalyzing how I was doing things and doing it purely from a very specific placement, it started loosening up, and then my IRS line got stronger, and then my looser side got even stronger because of it. So I'm doing it more in the correct place as opposed to trying to force turn out from the hip or twisting. Okay, so be okay with not twisting and be a little bit turning in, because eventually, if you do it correctly, it's going to rotate further out. You have to push it incrementally. Again, slow, tedious, and a lot of patience. Okay.
One last question, and I think it's a good one to end. When did you start dancing?
Okay, 19. I took a ballet class for a gymnast, and the teacher was really, really cool. And then when I got to college, I started doing it, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the movement and the artistic part of it. I didn't realize, I thought I was strong because I was a gymnast. I was an athlete, and I didn't realize how difficult it was because everything is so localized and everything from the hip. Where in gymnastics, you hit a handstand and your body flips around as a whole unit, and you can bend in right angles. But in dance, everything is you have to be as articulate as possible. And now with the improvisational thing and deconstructing yourself from your body technique to be able to move, a very languid spine is also necessary with having clear legs and feet in the correct placement of the arms. So if I can do it at 19, and I retired from the stage at 36, and then I went back on stage again at 40. And then I keep having like different performances where I try to get in shape for them. And I'm 47. That's pretty close to 50 years old. And I've never stopped. So I am living proof that you can do this. If I can do this, and you're only 20, there are no excuses. And it took me a while to be able to have a space like this, but it's been really nice to be at home and coming back here. Even when I'm locked down, I don't feel like I'm being imprisoned in my own home. I've been having so much fun rediscovering things about my technique and about myself, to help be a better communicator and educator for you guys. And it's the research part of it. Me taking classes and doing things is not just getting in shape. I love getting in shape, obviously, because I want to look good for the summer, yes. But it's also just constantly researching and experiencing something new, the stuff that I've been doing for the last 7 years. And that's what fascinates me. And when I do that, I also practice it in my real life, like looking at myself, what my flaws are. When Jeffrey tells me that that I'm impatient or whatever, like I never get defensive or try not to get to you. I walk in it openly and look at what I'm doing to make myself be a better person. So it does trickle into your life as an individual as well. So I don't know. I'm looking at my legs and wow, okay. I mean, it's only the fourth day. Fourth day, and before everything just kind of felt droopy, and now I feel like things are kind of like going back to, like, I can lengthen even further, but
So there are an overwhelming number of questions, and I think what I'd like to suggest is maybe next week, as part of our series of classes, we just have a Q&A.
Yes.
Where people can come with all of their questions.
Yes, Q&A.
Next week.
Next week, let's do that. Okay. You guys, thank you so much. I feel so honored to be able to share this internet space with you, and thank you for hanging out with me for how long? An hour and 10 minutes. It was only supposed to be a 30-minute class, but I hope that by you seeing me go through my own torture and the design of what I did, that it inspires you to keep going. And when you're short tomorrow, get up, do it again. Challenge yourself and have fun with it.
Tomorrow, same time, 5 p.m. with Usha.
Tomorrow, same time, 5 p.m. Usha Marisano, and there's more information in the class. Okay, you guys, I have to go eat now because I'm starving. And thank you so much for joining me in my home. And I appreciate you taking the time to come to class with me. Have a great night, guys. Bye. How was it?